Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, jctickets.net, Geico Insurance, Dunaway Furniture, Ocean City Golf Club, RussellStreetReport.com, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Holiday Inn Express, BuyAToyota.com, your official site for Toyota deals. The original Green Turtle, hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
And welcome in. It is the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Beach TV, and now this season on WMDT TV Channel 47. We're extremely happy to be a part of broadening our reach across the Delmarva Peninsula. Also, we're back on for another year on Delmarva's Rock Radio and home of the strongest signal Ravens affiliate, 93.5 The Beach. We are coming to you from the Ravens Room at the Blue Ox Bar and Grill, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City, with Ravens fans, including Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand. 44! Welcome into week number 5 of the NFL. Coming up, we're going to recap the Ravens' trouncing of the Carolina Panthers 38-10. We'll talk news and notes. We'll recap the AFC North and preview the upcoming game this Sunday. And for Ravens Roost 44, I will call them the Indianapolis Ursays out of respect to those old fans of our former Baltimore team. That being played at Lucas Oil Stadium, kickoff at 1 o'clock. The Ravens Wrap Show brought to you by the original Green Turtle, of course. The Blue Ox Bar and Grill, home of this great Ravens room. You have to come on down and check it out. It's the only one of its kind on the peninsula. Also, our friends at Bud Light, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Geico, RussellStreetReport.com, the official website of the Ravens Wrap Show, Ocean City Golf Club, jctickets.net, Holiday Inn Express in Northside in Ocean City, right next door to us, Donaway Furniture, and BuyAToyota.com. Don't forget, you can like us on Facebook, Ravens Wrap at the Blue Ox, online at ravenswrap.com. I'm Mike Bradley from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore, and locally on 92.7 WGND for mornings 5 to 9. To my left, joining us, a special guest. He's the sports director at Channel 47, WMDT TV, and that's Spencer Tillis. Welcome to Spencer.
Thanks, guys. How do you do?
And good to partner with you guys. Certainly broadening our reach on the peninsula. That's great. More people that see the show and more people that get to come down and know about it.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be very beneficial for both of us. And what a great opportunity for both of us to really just kind of reach out and, reach a bigger audience and get out there and get the message out. Absolutely.
Well, to his left, making his first appearance of the 2014 season, editor-in-chief of the best Baltimore Ravens website, RussellStreetReport.com, Tony Lombardi. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks.
We missed you.
I missed you guys too. Glad to be here with 44.
And host of Endless Golf and the Resort Golf Guide, and former host, of course, of the Stallion Sports Show, Bobby Vermillion back. Bobby, welcome back, sir.
Good to be back. Thank you. Good to be back.
Now, before we get into the program, I do have a couple of quick notes. As most locals know, in Ocean City at least, Denny King, who is well known and a restaurateur in Ocean City, the owner of Pepper's Tavern, passed away. And there will be a service held for him coming up Tuesday, October 7th at noon at Holy Savior Catholic Church on 17th Street. And following the service, there will be a reception at Pepper's Tavern on 16th Street. And the boards, Denny O, as he's well known, will certainly be missed in the community. Thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and family. And I know Papo was certainly good friends with Denny O, and it's been a tough week for the Turtle family. Also, prayers and well wishes go out to our friend Benny from the Green Turtle. He had heart surgery recently, and he's in recovery. He's coming along well at Peninsula Regional Medical Center in Salisbury. Looks like he's coming off the respirator, and he'll be able to breathe on his own. So we send thoughts and prayers to Benny and, of course, Sherry Berkey, who is a part of our family. So we're glad he's well, and we look forward to seeing him back at the Turtle. On to the game from Sunday. Boy, it's not often, guys, that you get to see a blowout win by the Ravens. It's usually a nail-biter, end-of-your-seat type of game. I guess the last time we had a blowout like this, I want to say, was maybe the Oakland game a couple of years ago at M&T Bank Stadium. But nonetheless, it's nice to be able to enjoy the second half of the game and not have to worry about the outcome.
Yeah, that was a wild game, too. I mean, just think about the fact, normally, too, you think of the Ravens as this ground and pound team, but obviously Flacco put on a move there, and you guess you don't really want to make Steve Smith upset because he had himself a game there. It was impressive to watch.
Absolutely. Well, Tony, the best quarterback rating, a franchise quarterback rating of 137.4. Couldn't have done it better, and certainly he did have a lot of help by very motivated Steve Smith Sr.
A motivated Steve Smith Sr., plus they had an offensive line that kept them upright for the third straight game. That's a really good thing to see. And I give Joe a lot of the credit, too, for being sackless in that game because he stared, the barrel right down the center and delivered the ball on time. So he had a really good game, his best as a Raven.
Well, where's John Garrick? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Where's the non-believer, the Joe Flacco non-believer? I tell you, you'd have to take your hat off to Joe, as you alluded to, the best QB rating in Ravens history. And also the fact that, we talked about this earlier. If the Ravens are able to run the football, you got Justin Forsett, you've got Talaferro, who's doing a great job. Obviously, Bernard Pierce didn't play. But if we're able to run the football, that takes all the pressure off Joe. It makes the play action work. And what about our offensive line? You alluded to it. No sacks in the last 3 weeks. They're running the football extremely well. And you see a different quarterback in Joe Flacco. Let's turn the table a little bit to our favorite other quarterback, Mr. Tom Brady. Let's see what happens when Tom Brady doesn't have a running game. Let's see what happens when Tom Brady doesn't have that many weapons, and also that he doesn't have that great of an offensive line.
That's right.
So we always talk about Flacco not being elite and this and that. At the end of the day, Flacco is a good, solid quarterback. He may or may not be elite. That may be up for debate. But when you take a look at a guy like Tom Brady, you take away some weapons. You stop
cheating.
You stop. no tape. And also, you don't protect him. He's just an average quarterback.
You want to talk about balance in this game. Ran the football 30 times, 31 passes. It doesn't pretty much get any better than that. And when you've got success in the running game, and here's an important stat. The Ravens now for 3 straight games have run for 125 yards or more. 3 straight games. That's the first time they did that since 2009. If you remember, in the 08 and 09 seasons, Flacco had the number, I want to say 3 rushing attack, and then the next year I believe it was number 6. So coming in as a rookie and second-year guy, he had that running game to be able to aid him, and he's got it again, certainly. And you see a couple of backs that you might not expect to have gotten the job done have gotten the job done the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think that they're developing a real rhythm. When you look at the Kubiak offense, they seem to be really in sync. And I think, how many times in the past have we seen the Ravens come out with a certain personnel package and you knew the run was coming or you knew the pass was coming? You don't know what's coming right now, but they're in a nice rhythm and they have balance. And Kubiak did something I thought was really clever, is he's got a rookie left tackle, undrafted free agent James Hurst, and he rolled away from him for a while just to get him some, the little contact and get him into the flow of the game. And then once he was in the flow of the game, he did a nice job.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, it looks like a well-oiled machine out there.
Yeah, that line, you're absolutely right. I think it starts right there. And the fact is, since they've been able to get that running game going, and it is by committee right now, it's not the big names normally that you associate with them, but that is setting up the play action, and they're winning up front. And I think that's definitely where it's starting right now for that offense, and that's why you're seeing such good rhythm on passing and with rushing right now.
And Bobby, it certainly doesn't hurt for a guy like James Hurst, undrafted guy out of North Carolina, that in this offense, you've got play action, you've got rollouts, and you've got quick hitters so that the line doesn't have to necessarily hold up for 4 or 5 seconds at a time.
Absolutely. And, Tony, you did a great article this week on the Russell Street Report about Juan Castillo. As much heat as he got last year, this year he's kind of, gone unnoticed. I guess that's a good thing for him. Yeah. But as much trouble as he was in last year, you have to take your hat off to him a little bit. He's done a good job. I know everybody points at Kubiak because he is the offensive coordinator, but, nothing beats talent. It's like in college. If you can recruit well, you're going to be pretty good. If you have good players, it makes the coaches better. We've talked about this the last couple of weeks on the show. With a new center, with Kelechi Assembly back, it's a huge difference for that Ravens offense. And you certainly saw an outstanding performance by a rookie, undrafted free agent tackle in Hurst.
And Tony, to be fair to Juan Castillo last year, you had an undersized center who had a tough time of it. You had a left guard who got hurt, and you had to put another undersized guard in. Okay, you had an issue at left tackle, which you had to address. You do bring Monroe in. Giannis coming off of shoulder surgery, or is average at best. I think you could argue Castillo was set up to fail, and his philosophy in the run game scheme-wise wasn't the same as the offensive coordinator. Now everything's in sync, and he's got some guys back, and they're playing very well. So I think last year fans unfairly attacked him without really knowing this situation.
Yeah, it was a perfect storm really for Juan Castillo, and because he was the guy that was the different. Everybody else was there before. He was the difference guy. He was the one guy that wasn't part of the team when they won the Super Bowl, and now they had to have a scapegoat, and he was it. And John Harbaugh really unfairly put him in a bad position.
And you're right, and that's on Harbaugh.
And he admitted that at the end of the season, because he brought him in here calling him a run game coordinator. How many teams have one of those?
With a bad offensive line, you don't want to be a run game coordinator.
Right.
Well, sure. there are a few, but at the same time, when he's actually the offensive line coach, but he is, but he's not. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. But
that's long behind us now.
Yeah, it is. That's water under the bridge.
Thankfully.
Spencer, we talked about Steve Smith at the top. You want to talk about a very highly motivated guy, and Gary Kubiak really tailored the game plan to him. They got the ball to him plenty, short, intermediate, and long passes, and boy, he came through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw it right in the beginning from his very first catch. I mean, he throws one of the meanest stiff arms in that entire game. Gets
it looked like he waited for the guy so he could do that.
They look like they scripted, like, all right, we're going to get you the ball the very first play and just try and get him in the rhythm, and he found that rhythm, and you saw it play out through the entire game. And then all of a sudden those things that, just start going your way. A tip ball happens to come right towards him, picks it up, takes it in for the touchdown. I mean, once you find a rhythm like that, and a guy like that that's been around, that has that experience and knows where to go in the field, I mean, he's definitely emerging as one of the primetime receivers for this team.
Well, and you had to figure, guys, it was the Ravens' day when the pass to Owen Daniels, which was off his fingertips. I didn't think it was a bad pass. It was just off Owen Daniels' fingertips, but falls into Steve Smith's hands like that. And by the way, that was an out route that he cut up, I think, on his own. He wasn't supposed to do that, but he did, and it still worked out. There was the right place, the right time. When those kind of things happen, you just know it's going to be the Ravens' day.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a karma. I mean, it was amazing when you saw that play. When I first saw the play, until I read afterwards, that I thought that was Owen Daniels in the wrong spot. But as you mentioned, Mike, that was actually Steve Smith being in the wrong place. He kind of, wagged it, as Bruce likes to say, and made a great play. And the funny thing about that is he never broke stride.
That's right.
He took it to the end zone, never broke stride.
Yeah. Well, he did a great job. Guys, we've got just about 60 seconds, but we talked about James Hurst, who started at left tackle, the undrafted rookie free agent at Carolina. How about Rick Wagner, though? Again, we're not hearing about him, and that's a positive thing, Tony. He's been very solid at right tackle.
When they broke camp, or when they broke the OTAs, there was some questions still about Rick Wagner, and the Ravens weren't sure because there was some talk about an Eric Winston or some other free agent that they might bring into camp later on, and get him on the cheap like Ozzie has done in the past. But as the camp started to wear on, it was pretty obvious this guy was holding down his, he was doing well against Elvis Dumerville and against Terrell Suggs in practice, and then we saw it in the preseason. So you're right, it's a quiet season, which is a great thing because it wasn't that way for Michael Orr.
No, certainly not. Well, we've got a lot more to get to in recapping the 38-10 Ravens win over the Panthers. More of the Ravens Wrap Show coming up. Comcast Beach TV, Channel 47, WNDT TV, and Delmarva's Rock Radio, 93.5 The Beach. Keep it here. We're back next.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Like 33rd Street was to Colt fans, Russell Street will become legendary for future generations of Raven fans. Not only is Russell Street the team's address on Sunday, it's now home to the website voted Baltimore's best 5 years in a row. You've known them as Ravens247.com for years, and now you'll love them as RussellStreetReport.com for many more. There's nothing else like it for Baltimore football fans. Trust me, RussellStreetReport.com. Baltimore's home for football 24/7.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.